Why doesn't that stay down? Good afternoon. My gimbal's acting weird. It won't stay unlocked. I don't get that. So I keep my finger on it, maybe it will. I'm just a short walk home. I just missed this huge rainstorm. I was getting ready to head home and it was pouring rain. But it stopped. Now the sun's out, so there you go. But it really, really rained hard for like, I don't know, 5 minutes. And I was worried I was going to get really, really wet, and then it stopped. So that's Saskatchewan for you. This will be a short walk. I'll do a little bit of 13th here, and that's about it. Down home from here. A short walk. This here is the Artesian, which is actually where I'm having a birthday celebration on July 6th. Going to do a little birthday recital, sing some of my favorite songs. It's called A Senior Moment with Edward Willett. Ed sings as many of his favorite songs as he can still remember the words to. That'll be there at the Artesian. Robert Urson, my good friend and a brilliant composer and accompanist, will accompany me. My daughter Alice will sing. We're going to do a little duet from Beauty and the Beast, and she'll sing a solo. Should be a fun time. Got a lot of invitations out. Probably have about, I don't know, right now it's looking like we might have 50 people there. That's about what we're looking at, probably. Cooper Umbrella is a very nice stationery store, I guess you'd call it. Cup of tea. It's a tea store, as you might guess. Warehouse Books is a new age bookstore. They've done all sorts of weird things here on 13th to make it more pedestrian friendly, and yeah, it's pretty ugly. I don't know what they're supposed to do when it comes time to plow the streets. I don't know how you can plow them with these. They've got pedestrian crossing signs in the middle of the street, which I think is weird. This used to be a sort of Masonic IOOF, that's what it was. I actually performed in here when it was that, but now it's something else. Over there is a coffee shop and an ice cream store. Kirk in Vancouver. Sobeys liquor store. I still think of it as our new liquor store. There never used to be one in the neighborhood, but now there is. The plan here is to walk down as far as the Cathedral and then head down to our house. So there's the Safeway where we mostly shop. This is the Cathedral neighborhood center here. I've got quite a few things in there. There's a guy apparently stealing a cart. If anybody wants to track him down. I haven't been here for a while, but I've been there for a few things over the years. Cathedral Neighborhood Center. Pet store here. Like most pet stores, it's a little too dog heavy as far as I'm concerned, dog focused. There's never enough stuff for cats. It's always about the dogs. And there's a Filipino bakery here. And up here on the corner is a diner. Over there is Pacific Fresh Fish. And this is probably a good place to cross because I actually get a light here. I don't trust the other places. He didn't bother to try to stop. Gale's Florist over there is closed, unfortunately. Been around forever, but it closed not that long ago. Some sort of family squabble, I think, and the people who owned it. There's our fish store. Brandy's has a post office in there that I often use. Coffee roasters over there has a very closed look, actually. I guess they're gone. Well, I never went in there, so it's probably my fault. I certainly never bought anything from there. There's other things over there. This is Westminster United Church. Very nice for musical performances here. Nice acoustic. Hi, Terry. You're welcome. Yeah, this is a lovely place to sing. Then on the other side of the street is Des Arts, which is candy and ice cream. And then we come to the cathedral, Holy Rosary Cathedral. If you go back, there was a walk I did on a Sunday. I couldn't figure out why the street was blocked off, and clearly it's because they were putting in all this stuff. There was a fatality on here, but it was like some stupid guy playing chicken or something. Got himself run over. This bookstore over there is Tuppeny. And the reaction by the city has been to put up all this additional stuff here for the safety of pedestrians, but it's certainly annoying the people who drive down 13th all the time to go to work. I mostly walk, so it doesn't affect me one way or the other. There are nice older houses over there with various businesses in them now. Here's the cathedral, Holy Rosary Cathedral, built in 1910, I believe. Fifth Avenue Coffee House. For some reason, I almost never go in there. It's probably the closest coffee house to us. I never think of it as a place to write. I'm not sure why. I just don't. Okay, we'll go this way now. Smells very nice and fresh because of that big rain. I mean, it was pouring there, but only for a very short period of time. Not that long ago. That's why there's water standing everywhere. I'm not sure what they're doing here. It's an old building, and I'm sure it takes constant maintenance. That's a condo building there now. It used to be a nunnery. If I went that way, I'd end up on the wheelchair ramp, so I won't do that. I'll go this way. Try not to step in a poodle. Sorry, that's what I always called it when my daughter was little. Don't step in a poodle. Everything is very green because of all the rain, and we're supposed to get heavy, well, pretty heavy rain Thursday and Friday, I think, so I don't know that I'll be doing any walking those days. We'll see. I don't mind walking under an umbrella to a certain amount, but if it's really raining hard, you still get pretty wet. Holy Rosary School, it was closing, I believe. I don't know if it's closed yet or not, or if this was the last year or exactly what's happening. But this very nice park, green space here. The Cathedral Village Arts Festival, they've often had a tent there, and I remember my daughter dancing with some other kids there many years ago now. She's still interested in dance. In fact, she's going to England to get a master's in dance science from Trinity Louvain. Oh, there's a lovely view down the street with the overarching trees. We'll go down this street. Why not? It's not one I walk down all that often. It's Garnet, isn't it? Where I used to live. Yeah. You go far enough down, you go by the house I lived in when I first moved to this neighborhood back in the mid 90s, early 90s. And I've lived in this neighborhood ever since. Because after Garnet Street, I married. Well, I guess technically we lived over in Core there, but it's not very far away. But our family's house is where we live now. It's in this neighborhood, so essentially this has been my neighborhood now for 30 years. And I've rarely seen it any greener and lusher than it is this year with all the rain. More to come. Very annoying because we have a addition being built in the back of the house, a small one. He was doing siding today, and the rain will have forced him to pack up really quick. Probably cut his workday short on the back on our addition. Short-lived though it was very hard while it lasted. Fortunately, I was indoors, but I saw it coming down. I was worried about it. This is a good place to cross because it's an all-way stop here on 15. Look, there's a dog. There's always a dog, and there's a jogger. So, two potential bingo things. What's he carrying? He's jogging, carrying books or something. Nice dog, too. Handsome dog. Nice neighborhood, too. Very pretty. And again, it just, air feels very, very fresh and pleasingly cool at the moment after that rain. Coming up to College Avenue here. So I will turn and go down to the left to our crescent. Oop, there goes a cat. And a bird chasing him. And where did he go? Is this his house? Or did he just go in the bushes, or did he go down the alley? That bird up there knows he's around. It's keeping an eye out for him. It's a robin. Having a few words with the cat. When I was growing up, our cat, Tiger, we lived out in the country, and he would get dive bombed by swallows, and he got to the point where he just kind of ignored them. His ear might flick, but otherwise he just pretended they weren't there. Which of course is fine, right up until, as sometimes happens, the cat suddenly decides to take a chance and actually succeeds in grabbing the bird that's dive bombing at it. That side of the street is a bit higher, and one reason for that is that at one point there was a rail line that ran along here, down by the Royal Saskatchewan Museum, where I've walked many times. They began building a big railway hotel at that corner of Albert and College, and then it never got completed. I don't think it got much further than some stone and structural steel. But there was a rail line here that would have taken you to that hotel, if I remember my own book correctly. And the embankment was on that side, which is why there's a kind of a embankment on that side of this street that's not on this side. Okay, here's Angus Crescent, so on the go towards home. Downhill from here. Back when I was still jogging, it was a great relief to turn that corner and suddenly find yourself going downhill. And of course, some very nice houses along here. Ours is an okay house. It needs painting, though. We'll get to it eventually. Need some stucco repair, too. At least I got the grass mowed. Yeah. Nice houses. I don't remember what the magazine was, but a few years ago this neighborhood was featured in a U.S. magazine as one of North America's best old house neighborhoods. You can see why. Most of them are old houses. There's a few newer ones have popped up here and there, but mostly old houses. And ours was built in 26, so it's coming up on its 100th anniversary. Some of these were built earlier and already 100 years old. I haven't been in this one, but my wife says it's one of her favorites. Built in 1929. Built for Dr. Edward Montier, a dentist, who lived here until 1941. There's a sign in front of it. That's how I knew that. Didn't know it off the top of my head. I think that one must be fairly old. Not the most interesting one, but it has the look of something that's probably one of the older houses. Some of them have tall peaked roofs like that, sort of that Bavarian cottage style, I guess. Some are more of the square style. The white one over there, although it wasn't built for him, was where Tommy Douglas lived, the Premier of Saskatchewan. Named Canada the greatest Canadian at one point, although that might depend very much on your politics, but he was the father of Medicare, so father of socialized medicine in Canada, lived there. At some point, I'm sure not when it was built in 1914, it got a indoor pool added to it, which I think was there when Douglas lived there. I've been in that house on the Davin School home tour that used to happen regularly. Some are smaller. Some are colorful. Now, this one is a newer one built by an architect, and it doesn't look that big from out here, but it's actually quite large. Multiple levels, very open inside. My wife loved it. When it was for sale when we saw it, and I think if she could have, she would have bought it and we would have moved into it, but somebody else bought it. So it's, yeah, it's bigger than it looks, that one. A few houses along here that were built by architects for themselves. There's quite a few for sale at the moment, too. If you want to be my neighbor, that one's available. And the big one on the corner here with the gazebo and the white picket fence is very, very nice. The big porch. I think of all the houses in the neighborhood, I like that one as much as any. I like that. That porch makes me think of the South, where I grew up. Not that we ever had a porch like that, but many houses do. And then it has this nice gazebo, and of course, it also has a plaque. It's the T.E. Parrott residence, built in 1909, 1910, and one of the first in this area. Built for the family of Colonel Thomas Edwin Parrott. Moved from Ontario in 1891, prominent local educator. 1891, served as principal of the Regina Normal School. Wounded and permanently blinded in active service overseas during the First World War. He's an OBE, decorated by the Prince of Wales in 1919. Lived here until 1928. It was designed by a prominent local architectural firm of Story and Van Egmond. So yeah, it is a significant house. And, as it said, probably the oldest in the neighborhood. Ours was a newcomer compared to that, built in 1926. That house is for sale too over there if you really want to be a neighbor. Okay, I'll stop here. Thanks for walking with me. And I don't know when I'll be back. Depends on the rain, but bye for now.